Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm Arthur. You can call me Art, but it has to be kind of like a slang way you say it.
Ah,
You can't say Art. If you say Art, I'm not gonna respond. But if you say like Art or something, I'm okay with that. It's not too bad. Like I can roll with that.
yeah,
Or if you want to make it a joke, like Artie the one man party, okay. Rather than that, Arthur is fine.
yeah. No, no, I feel you. Yeah, and obviously I'm Zoe, the other half. But yeah, we're just sharing our experiences, and we're just kind of just speaking the truth, our truth. And I also feel like a lot of people, when they try to do this podcast thing, it's like they're trying to copy other people that they've seen, or like other formats.
Yeah,
But I think the only way to really connect with someone or connect with your audience is just to be true, because then you're gonna find your true followers, your true people that vibe with you, that kind of like fuck with you, if you want to say it that way.
very true.
Um, but yeah, we're just gonna be us, share our truth, and hopefully you get some value out of this. I mean, already from the first podcast, you're telling me you got a lot of good feedback. I mean, if you want to
Yeah.
start there, tell me how that went.
Well, first I want to start off by saying um, thank you to everyone that has prayed for me during my time. Um, as most of you guys know, I did go to the hospital. I had cancer, but the abundance of love and all the praying for people. I mean, all the praying I got from people, and my wife did a Facebook post on it, and a lot of people liked it. A lot of people showed a lot of love. So I really appreciate everyone that has, you know, thought about anything about me. Positive, negative, I'll take everything. But it was definitely a hard time. I'm still working to get out of that time. But thank you to a lot of people. I still haven't really said it out loud. I mean, said it in person to everybody, but I think this is my way of saying it. But yes, I appreciate everything. An abundance of love from everybody, neighbors, people I didn't know, giving me food. Um, my sister-in-law doing the GoFundMe. If you donated anything, I appreciate. If you didn't donate anything and felt sorry for me, I appreciate it. But I definitely wanted to say that to get that out the way because I haven't said anything on social media or anything to anybody outside of my circles. So thank you to everybody that has done that for me.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes like people can maybe feel a certain way if they don't hear anything, but when you go through a tough time like that, people just got to be understanding, because it's one thing to kind of like share a post and kind of wish someone good health and good luck, but you kind of go on your business, on your life, when that person has to live with it for the rest of their life, so.
Yeah,
But
but I just didn't want anybody to feel a certain way.
no,
Like I said,
that's what I
my
mean. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
my circle, everybody knows how I feel, but I haven't I don't have Instagram anymore. I haven't posted anything anywhere. So this is this is me coming out saying that, and then maybe after this I'll start posting again or something. All depends how I feel, but
Yeah,
I just wanted to say something.
no,
But
absolutely.
yeah, but I wanted to start off heavy.
Okay.
How do you feel not knowing your father? I haven't asked
um,
you that. I don't remember. I don't think I've ever asked you that in my whole life of knowing you. I've known Lorenzo's my stepbrother. I've known Lorenzo since I was 5, but I don't think I've ever asked you that question.
it's I guess I mean, it can be a little bit sad, but it's like on one hand, I guess growing up, I kind of felt like a slight void because
Yeah,
it's like half of your identity. You have no idea what where you come from and
yeah,
your family, but the other aspect of it, it's like, how can you miss something that you never experienced or you never had? In a way, and the only reason why I say that is because it's not like every day I wake up and I'm like, man, where's my dad? You know what I mean? I guess you get used to like not knowing that you get comfortable, or you get conditioned to like not knowing that side of you or that aspect of you. You know what I mean? Even though it could be something very important, but it's like if you have something, you experience something, and then you lose it, then that's one thing. Like, for
Yep.
example, if let's say a kid knew his dad up until he was 7 or 8, 9, and then
Mhm.
his dad got, car accident or something, because you knew that person, and that person had, affected your life,
Mhm.
then there's a missing. But for me, it's like I've never even seen this person. I've never even like talked to this person. Like I've not only that, but it's like I'm probably never gonna even know who he is, because I remember my mom actually a couple years, not a couple years, but maybe like 5 to 8 years ago, she actually told me, she's like, to tell you the truth, I don't even know who your dad is. So,
Okay.
um, and I guess apparently the name on my birth certificate, Gary Fitzgerald.
Mhm.
So that person, that man, he's just the name of the guy she was with at the time.
Oh wow.
So
So
even
you might
like
not even be a Fitzgerald.
exactly. So
Wow. I've
I guess
never known that.
yeah. I mean, so
Wow.
I guess when you hear things like that, it's like you kind of have to somewhat be comfortable, like never ever knowing. So that's why I guess for me, it's like I just try to be the best dad I can be, and I try to be the best man that I can be, because it sucks not for a man, especially a man. I mean, both son and daughter, not to know who their dad is.
Mhm.
Um, so that's kind of how I look at it. Just be the best man that I can be, and never do that to my children. Never leave them without a dad. I mean, I don't know what psychological effects, or how that has affected me, because I mean, I haven't looked into my psyche that deep. But I mean, I think I turned out all right. Sometimes not having something, you kind of like try to not feel the void, but like you try to like make up for it in
Mhm.
certain ways. So
I just think it's. I mean, to me, it's just weird because, like you knowing how it feels to be a father. You know what I'm saying? How it feels to be a father, and then, you know, whatever his reasoning is, but yo, Rhonda, relax.
he's, he sees a stranger. He's like, "What's going on here?"
Yeah. But yeah, to like know what it is to be a father, and to just know that, not say he didn't care. I mean, we don't know obviously, but just for that not to happen, it's just, I don't know. It just bothers me a lot. Just bothers me a lot.
Yeah, I mean,
Like
that's
obviously not necessarily you, but I'm just saying in general. Like,
no, I got you.
having a kid is like everything, and then you know you don't even know who your dad is because he decided, whatever the reasoning is, but he decided, like, oh yeah, well, that's not important to me, or whatever his case is. But it's like, man, like that's a lot, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I guess even more recently, the way I kind of looked at it was like maybe because even the way she said it was like, I don't know who he is,
Mm.
meaning she probably had a couple, multiple guys that she was dating or seeing at the time.
Yeah, yeah.
So it could be a situation where he doesn't even know that he had a son. You know what I mean?
I guess so. Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
because if that's the case, and it's like, is she going up to every guy, 5 months pregnant, being like, hey, by the way, it could be you and 3 other guys. I mean, I don't know. You
Yeah,
know what I
yeah,
mean? So it's like,
yeah, yeah. I see what you're saying.
it's kind of complicated. So, but I did do, what do you call it? Ancestry.
Yep.
And I was able to like connect with some, I don't even know if it's my mom or dad's side, but some family members, like third, fourth cousins.
Oh, cool.
And it gives you like a percentage of your nationality,
Mm.
like 25% Nigerian, so on and so forth. And it goes on and on. Not that that's gonna point me to who he is, but I mean, you know, yeah. I guess it is what it is. But that's the sad thing about the black community. It's like a lot of children don't have their dad in their life.
Yeah, it's very sad. I
You
mean,
know.
you can mess up as an adult, and but your kid's your kid. Like that's just doesn't make any sense to me.
No, I mean I agree. I'm with you. I think the thing is that because we grew up, for the most part, correct with a sense of morality and duty,
Yeah.
take care of our kids. If someone doesn't grow up with that, then to them, it's just whatever I feel I want to do. It's like if I don't want to take care of this kid and I don't want to be with the mother,
I'm just not gonna do it.
they're not going to do it because maybe they didn't mature enough. They never matured enough to that level, or they didn't have parents to teach them responsibility. You know, and because of course they don't have a dad in the house, so they can't see it from that perspective. They just see it as like, oh, it's an inconvenience.
Mm.
You know, fuck it, I'm just gonna abort or, you know, be gone.
It's just crazy how some people are raised because, like my good friend Sticks, um, his father wasn't really in the house either, and his mom raised him and his siblings. Very strong woman, but but he still turned out like with his head on straight, and he has 3 daughters of his own, and you know he's doing the best he can to raise those those princesses to be queens. But it's like, but he didn't have that growing up, like the mom and the dad in the household. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of weird. Like I don't know what it is about certain people just knowing the right and wrong and how to do certain things, just knowing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's a little complex because obviously with the dad missing, there's like a void there, but the mom does her best to pick up that slack in terms of like this is right, this is wrong, and in a lot of cases, I think there's also cousins, brothers, uncles that kind of somewhat fill that role, and they can maybe see their friends and how their dad treats their friends or
Mm.
how their dad treats their cousins, so they like maybe like through another lens they get to see like what the fatherly figure does, and also too growing up when you have like again older brothers, you have older friends of older siblings, and then you also see movies, and it's like there's like the idea or like the you have the understanding of who and what a father is,
Hmm.
and also the fact if you don't have it, then it's that lack and there's that longing for dad. So I think some men they grow up, especially if they're growing up correct,
Hmm.
they have a feeling of I could never do this to my kids because I know how bad it feels. So they try to make up for that and be even better father or outdo him. You know what I mean? I think that's kind of what generally happens in those situations. You know what I
Yep, I
mean?
understand that too, because I think that's how you feel. But then at the same time, I don't want that either, and I don't feel what you feel. Having that void, you say like you really didn't know him, but even having that void, like I don't, I do things the right way in my marriage to not make sure I don't become a dad that's not here. My kids waking up and not seeing me in the bed or something like that. I don't want that either. But I've never experienced the feeling of that. You know,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I guess. I mean, it's complex in terms of someone's psychology
Mm.
and kind of how it affects them. But I just think that like obviously the optimal situation is both mom and dad at home because then you see the example of how a woman should act, how a future wife or girlfriend should act,
Mm.
and then you see the daughters see an example of how a future husband or future boyfriend should treat them, and that's important because you see like they say. Well, I heard the saying it's like a dad keeps his son out of jail and his daughter off the stripper pole, and that's basically what it is.
Shout out to Chris Rock.
You know what I mean? But no, but it's true. I mean, because the dad sets the tone in the house, he disciplines them, and he kind of gives them the structure. It's just kind of like how life is going to be. He prepares them for life. Mom is the nurturing side, kind of like show you love and
Mm.
take care of you, in that aspect. And the dad is kind of disciplining and prepares you for the harsh truth of life. You know what I mean? Kind of a loose summary, I guess. But I mean, every relationship's obviously different, but in
The
general, you know what I mean?
huh.
But yeah, I mean, I guess for the guys that don't have their dad and they have that void, it's just sometimes, not always, but sometimes they feel like because I felt this pain, I could never do this to my own son or my
Mhm.
own daughter. So it makes them even better father. And it's like, yeah, how it's like, I get where you're coming from because it's like I never felt the pain you felt or the lack or the void that you felt, but how do we both come to the same conclusion? I mean, we both were raised in the same household,
Yep.
so a lot of the examples we saw through older brothers, cousins, and things like that, uncles, and again that void, if it's not being filled, then you try to fill it yourself.
Very true.
But I mean, yeah, I mean, we're blessed in that sense because we both came to the same conclusion that we got to take care of our kids, take care of our own. We have that sense of duty. Some movies explain it well too. Sometimes it's like if you don't have an example of a brother or a cousin or uncle or whatever, you see it in movies too. Because sometimes like you can tell what really hits your psyche or your subconscious. Like you ever watch a movie and all of a sudden something happens and it's like you get like a little emotional.
Oh yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
So there's something about that hits you. You know what I mean? And there will always be scenes where it was like, even for me, like the scenes with the dad, like I'm proud of you, son. Like little things like that would hit me. You know what I mean?
yeah. But that hits me too.
Well, I know, I guess I'm coming from a sense of like lack.
I
But
know.
maybe you're coming from because how dad was treating
That's
us.
what I'm
Where
saying.
it's like, man, I wish my dad would be proud of me, or I wish my dad would show me love and respect, or like
Yep.
not so much respect, but like he has my back, and he's guiding me the right way,
Yep.
Um, but yeah, I mean, even through movies, even through things like that, you can see the right way.
Mm.
But no, I mean, somehow, some way, we came out good, came out all right, you know.
That we did, man. That we did. That's
But yeah,
crazy.
man, that's how I look at it. Just make up for it and just be an excellent father. Because I mean, what can you do? I mean, I can't blame him, and he can't be the reason for me being a shitty person. I can't say that. Well, the reason why I'm don't make it life because my dad wasn't around. It's like a childish mentality. I mean, we all have lacks in some way or another. Some people have shitty genes. Some people have no finances, no money. Some people have no support, emotional. Everyone has some handicap in some dimension of their life. But somehow, some way, you still gotta win. You still gotta, figure it out and make it happen. So I mean, I guess that's the fighter in me. It's like at the end of the day, you either win or you lose. It's like no one cares. Oh well, he had a bad weight cut. He had to cut 25 pounds in the last. No one cares. I just saw you got knocked out. You lost. You know, and
Very true.
that's just what it is.
Yeah, it's just life in general. That's why they always say you never know what a person's going through.
Yeah.
You know, which is so valid. You
I
really
mean,
never know.
I think it brings, if you're a person that has that level of understanding, you can appreciate the person, especially when they do win, overcoming all the bullshit and all the things they're going through. You can be like, wow, yeah, he had this with his mom, he had this with his kids, he had this and that, couldn't pay his rent, but he still made it. And you could actually appreciate his success more. Especially like you see like these stars or like, rappers or whatever. I'm just in general, but like let's say they had a crazy situation, but they overcame all these things, and it's like, wow, like how much more do I like this person now?
Hmm.
We celebrate them because they're worth celebrating. What if it's like if it was given to them, they're a trust fund person? You know what I mean? It's like, all right, here's $10 million. You didn't do anything, you didn't work for it towards anything. Sometimes not gaining it or not working for it, then you kind of take it for granted. Take it, you don't appreciate it.
I hear that.
So sometimes, I guess, in a way, if you don't have a dad, you appreciate being a dad more, I guess, to bring it full circle.
Yeah, I just appreciated just giving my kids the best they can, the best thing I can give them. I just giving them the best I can, and I don't know. My mind is like gone now because you just saw that stuff. Some good stuff.
Yeah, we try to give them things we never had. Because I know growing up, even though we had a man in the house, there were some elements that were lacking. And those elements, sometimes it's like, for example, even the house, like the whole situation with drugs and like, you know, we saw that aspect, right, in the household. We saw like, okay, the negative effects of drugs and alcohol. So, what's the negative? What are the results in our life situation? We're kind of, in a situation where financially we're hurting, relying on the government. Parents aren't happy. Is constantly fighting. It's just a toxic situation. So, if you look at that and reflect and you say, well, I don't want this toxic outcome for my future, my life.
Mm-hmm.
So what led to this toxic situation? The drugs, the alcohol, this, that, the lack of character, whatever it may be. So then you start to associate drugs and doing these things with toxic lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
So then it's kind of like by seeing that, it can also be in the same way with a dad. Like, all right, so a dad who really makes me feel like more of a better man does this because we see the examples of our friends or whoever or movies like, and it's kind of like because we lack that in our dad, then we kind of like we make that up with our kids in a sense. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I use a drug example as in terms of certain aspects of our dad's character. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, he was there. He held it down. He was strict. He was disciplined, which is good for being disciplined individuals.
Mm-hmm.
But what about the sense of encouragement and teaching a man how to be a man, and also showing the example of working hard work, and taking care of the family?
Mm-hmm.
You know, those aspects they were lacking a bit. So I think we in ourselves, you know, like we have that sense of pride where it's like, well, we can't do that for our family. You know what I mean? So we sometimes put the burden on us. I mean, it's just what a man's job is. You know, the men they basically protect, they build, they protect, and they provide. You know, for the family. You know.
Do you remember you trying out for football?
Yeah, a little bit. What happened? What happened with that? Or what do you remember about football?
You said sense of encouragement. I remember you tried out for football, and I think you were going to make the team.
Oh no, I did make the team.
You did make the team,
Yeah.
but what did you not have?
I probably didn't have something.
You didn't have cleats.
Okay.
You had your Adidas. Your Adidas. Can't remember. Can't remember the exact
Some regular
model.
sneakers or something.
But they were white and navy blue, and
White
the
and
blue was
blue?
jean.
Okay. Yeah. Yep.
You made the team. They're like, yo, Lorenzo, you need some cleats, and you're like, I can't afford cleats. That's it.
No, I mean, but I also remember this too. I think they made an exception
Mm.
because even after summer, like after tryouts, I was still on the team. But I think what happened was, I made the wrestling team. I made
Yeah, wrestling team.
Yeah. Oh yeah. They wanted me to wrestle for because I went.
Oh,
Remember you
yeah.
used to watch WWE or WWF back at the time?
Yeah.
A huge wrestling fan.
Okay. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, that's when wrestling was good.
Yeah. So obviously that kind of got me because Kurt Angle at the time, you know, he's talking about gold medalists.
Kurt
You know,
Angle, yeah.
so I was like, all right, let me check out this real wrestling stuff. So then I went a couple of practices. I remember like they wanted me because I was athletic, obviously, you know what I mean. But they wanted me to play on the team, and so I had that, football, band, jazz band, and working a job.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
something had to go.
Yeah.
So
It definitely wasn't gonna be work.
yeah. So I basically at the time I was a trumpet fanatic, so I was like, nope, not getting that up. I have to work. So then the wrestling and football basically had to go, you know. Because
Mm.
I also remember too, it wasn't just that. It was we had to be home, watch Naomi, cook this. So it's like, you know what I mean. There's only so much time we have, you know. So, but yeah, I remember. It's like it's funny because now I wish I actually played football. I wish I actually wrestled in high school too. I think that would have. But anyways, yeah.
Well, I didn't play football either because I think that's when I think you left when you went to stay with your aunt. And I tried for football, and I remember they wanted to do 2 days. And I said, well, I can't do 2 days. I have a job. They go, well, you need to be for 2 days to be able to make the team. And I said, well, I guess that's done. And I just kept working.
Yeah, that's another thing too. It's
Yeah.
funny you mentioned that. Going
2
back
days.
to the previous example of
Yeah.
why we became who we became. So even though we were children, we were taking care of a good chunk of the bills.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's kind of like we were acting as adults even as children.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that had to do something, you know, with how our character developed. You know.
Yeah. I mean, that goes back to. That goes so deep. Because remember, I think you were at my house. Yeah, I think it was me, you. Had to be me, you, Devin, and Ray or something. Remember that?
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, he had that limp, the glasses, the hair.
So
And he had that-
Devin's a cousin and Ray's a cousin. But I'm pretty sure I was watching the kids and my mom wanted to go out. And I said, I've been watching the kids like for a while. And I'm like, I'm done watching the kids. And I think you guys were all over. We're all hanging out. And I was like, yo, I think I'm going to run away. I'm pretty sure we all just literally got out the house and just ran to Dad's house. Because you came from Dad's. I'm pretty sure Ray was with you or Devin was with you, whatever. And we literally just ran. And like we were like, it was the stupidest thing. I remember going through the streets like hiding behind cars. If my mom was gonna drive by or something, like, dude, it was so stupid, man. So stupid. But I definitely want to watch the kids, so we ran away. So me, you, Devin, and Ray run into the west side with Devin's limp.
It's so funny
This
because
is so
I
stupid.
remember, I mean, I remember Devin was mostly in middle school, and then in high school it was like Ray because he was on the west side. 'Cause
Well,
he
yeah,
went
yeah, yeah,
west.
yeah.
So when was this? This was like 8th grade or something, for me.
I'd be like 10 or 11 or 11,
So that
12 or
means
something like
you
that.
were
I was
you were
young.
like 6th or 7th grade, so it
Yeah,
would have to be in 8th. So it might be right before we switched
yeah.
to west.
Because
Okay.
my mom lived on, you know, my next uncle David, so down the street was Devin.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Yeah, because he was like Uncle Butter lived like around Spruce Street ish.
yeah,
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 yeah. So
yeah.
and I lived on Spruce Street, so we always used to hang out with him.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
No, it's pretty funny. I just definitely remember that.
The good old days. But no, yeah, I mean, we were we were kids, but we were doing grown folk things. I mean, you were watching your siblings. You know what I mean? We were working as kids, like, and what we gave up like I don't remember how much, but like more than half our check every week.
Yeah. But remember, it was actually our whole check. Remember that? It used to be our whole check. We come home, we give him our check, and then we say, all right, well, he doesn't really know how much we make, So then Citizens Bank opened. We
Direct deposit.
yep, we got direct deposit and just took money out of there and he gave him the money, wherever it was.
Hmm.
If we made $100, we just gave him 50. This was our paycheck. All right.
Isn't that crazy? I think that's like, so the adults who are supposed to be holding the house down, or collecting government assistance, food stamps, SSI, and then basically having their kids work to get extra money to pay for everything else.
Yeah.
It's funny because it's like I don't dwell in the past like that, and it's like I suppress a lot of stuff. So a lot of the memories are like, even when you bring the stuff up about this whole thing with Ray and this and that,
Yeah.
or the whole thing with the cleats, you know what I mean? But
I remember everything, man.
it's crazy how when I actually go back to those days and you bring them up, I can feel the pain of like I can't wait till I turn 18 and I can like finally live my own.
Yeah.
Because I feel like our childhood was like robbed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like it's like I can't even like make deep friendships with my classmates because it's like, oh hey, we got this thing going on, or we got this weekend. Nope, gotta be home, gotta be watching Naomi.
Yeah, we didn't really
Had
do
to
that.
work.
Yeah, that's crazy.
You know.
I might have been at a couple friends' house, but that was mostly when I lived with my mom. I was able to go out and hang out with some people over there, but when I was with Dad, yeah, it didn't really happen.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was like military.
I remember like a couple of times out of school, right?
It's like you didn't have time for a girlfriend. No, you can't do anything. I remember like remember Tracy? I remember she called the house a couple of times, and like I think Dad picked up the phone, and I could tell he was listening on the other line. So I was like, talk for a little bit, and then I like, all right, I'll talk to you tomorrow. It was just tough. It was,
Make sure you do your homework.
it was just like we always had eyes on us.
Yeah.
We couldn't be kids.
Yeah.
We couldn't learn, make mistakes, and
Yeah. I remember bringing the phone to the porch.
oh yeah, because so that
Yeah.
way no one could hear. Yeah.
Yeah, bringing the phone to the porch. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think all that has to because it was like we were. It's like you have all this. It was like we were our upbringing was like too strict. So I think that strictness made us realize that damn kids need their own freedom as well. You know, they need a space to grow, so they'll be able to like spread their wings and figure out who they are. You know,
Do you remember the truck?
the truck. Yeah, we can go to
Remember
the
the
truck
truck?
to get food. It was like it's crazy.
I'm surprised you remember. Yeah, man.
Yeah, because we did it like for years. Every Saturday, boys. All right, time to go to the truck, get food that was like expired, like bread that was rotten. He's like, yeah, eat the. Isn't that that's so crazy? I don't. Remember, it's like bread that was rotting. It was like we had to like
Take the pieces
the
off and
ends
mold.
out.
Come on, man.
Yeah, it was like
Come on, man. I remember all that
it's
stuff.
it's so sad because it's like not to like play victim or like poor me, but it's like damn. When I think maybe it was so shitty I had to like suppress it just to stay sane. You know what I mean? But that is crazy.
Yeah.
Now thinking about it, yeah, like we really had to do these things.
Yeah. And this is when therapy comes into play. See? Because I've said this in therapy because I remember all this stuff.
if I was with a therapist, I don't know. It would be take a couple sessions. To
Yes,
bring
I
all this
know.
out.
100%. It took me about maybe 2 or 3. No, maybe the third session. I kind of started opening up a little more, but yeah, it's tough, man. It's tough. Like remembering all that stuff. Like I said, I remember that daily. I remember so many details, man. I remember living with my mom and Big Pierre, which is my little brother's dad. And they went to go do something, and Allie, my grandfather, would watch us, and he'd literally be
Some Sade.
Sade, man.
Sade, yeah.
He put Sade on in the living room, and obviously the kids are doing whatever they wanted to do. And I look in the living room, and he's still on the couch crying. And I'm like, what the hell? It was just weird to me because he wouldn't say nothing to us. He's sitting there drinking his old Milwaukee. I'm pretty sure that's what it was, the beer.
Mm-hmm.
Old Milwaukee or Smirnoff or something. And he'd literally just be sitting there crying. And I'm like, what are you, I never understood it. Cherish the day from Sade. No ordinary love. He'd be like sitting there, eyes closed,
Kiss of life.
screaming to the like singing to the ceiling. And I'm like, yo, what's wrong with this guy?
He has a lot of pain in his. And he,
Yep. And now to this day, I can't listen to Sade. Because when I listen to Sade, that puts me, being a little kid, in that exact moment, watching him cry, and then I start crying. So now I can't listen to Sade.
It's crazy. I was listening to Sade like a week or two ago.
Can't do it. A couple songs. I can listen to like Smooth Operator or something.
Yeah.
A beat, Jezebel, I can do that. But when it comes to like No Ordinary Love, Stronger Than Pride, nope. There's another one. Man. Is it Paradise?
Yeah, she's got some hits, man.
Yeah, I can't do it.
It's like a certain vibe. I think it like brings out the pain. Cause she's got that neo soul like type of vibe, and it's just like, But
Yeah.
I think maybe Ali. I mean, because obviously look at Ali's situation. He was older,
Yeah.
crazy limp, cane.
Living with his mom. I mean, living with his daughter.
Yeah, and we don't know what things he's been through in his life. So it's like,
I know.
Depression. It's like, imagine if he had the ability to like, because I mean, how was he with his siblings like Donna, Irene, and all them, Jesse?
Every time I was around them, they looked like they were fun to me, but they were drinking.
Yeah, we couldn't tell because we were kids.
Yeah. I remember the blues. Do you remember where Aunt Donna lives right now?
I don't know. I remember she used to live off of Maple or Beach.
Yeah, right. She still lives there.
Oh yeah.
Picture. So, do you remember across the street that diagonal across the street that it's at that blue store? Do you remember that?
Yeah, I think so.
I was like
Is
5.
that still there?
I was 4 when that store was there. No, it's not there anymore.
Yeah, because that was on Spruce, right?
No, it's on Cedar.
No, I'm sorry, Cedar. Because you have
Yeah.
Beach and then Cedar, that corner.
Yeah. I remember that blue store, man. I remember being in that blue store, and it'd be my Uncle Jesse and Allie and Uncle Eddie.
Yep.
And they just be in there. 'Cause Uncle Jesse owned the store, and they just be in the back just drinking, hanging out. I remember that. Across the street. And Pierre wasn't even born. So, I was like 4.
Yeah.
Freaking nuts, man. It's just so weird how those pieces, like, I can just picture those pieces.
That means you have really good memory.
But I don't, though.
Well, no, I think because
I can't remember today.
No, what's funny is I don't know, but there's some research that shows that when you have like a traumatic or painful events,
Yeah.
because they're so traumatizing, it kind of gets etched in your memory. So like I think maybe that's why you remember a lot of stuff from Dad in the house, all those traumatic memories. It's like there, especially with Allie. If you mentioned, you mentioned the thing with Allie when he listened to the music, he was crying. So those are like haunting memories. You know what I mean? So I think that's why, from a certain aspect, that's why you remember them. I think for me, I don't know I think I have an issue with my memory because like there's certain things that like even Vanessa will say, oh, I remember like 4 years ago we went on this date and we went to this restaurant. Don't remember.
I don't either. That's what I'm saying. I don't know if my memory is that good because she would tell me the same thing because everything it blurs in because we do kind of the same stuff.
Yeah, same restaurants or this time.
Yeah.
It's funny because women have like a different memory. They're so sharp at certain things. Oh, remember when you said this and we were here at this spot, you ate this. She remembers what I ordered. Like, What?
But then she'll remember. This morning, I told her to do something. She'll remember that.
Oh yeah, of
But
course.
she'll remember every detail,
Or have
everything.
an
It's really
argument.
funny. Really funny right now. Karen will be doing something for me, and she'll have to put my social security number in, and she'll be there. She goes, wait, what's it again? I'm like, don't look at me because you know what it is. But she just does that to make me feel like I'm needed. Wait, what was it? Is that? Oh, okay. I'm like, yo, don't do that. She knows everything, man.
Yeah.
My calendar. Like, it's disgusting, but that's what it is. I love my wife,
Yeah,
but
they're important. She's my wife's good with the kids. She takes care of them. Marcellus is getting really smart. He thinks that's. It's funny because every babysitter says, "Man, this kid is independent." I never seen a 2-year-old that's like knows where everything in the house is,
yep.
knows where his food is. He can like get everything himself.
Mhm.
Like he's good. You know, I mean, obviously he's still a 2-year-old, but
Yep.
he'll be 3 in a couple months. But that's all her. I mean, she's
Mhm.
always cooking and cleaning.
Mm-hmm.
So what does he see? Putting stuff back, putting the trash, take the trash out.
Yeah.
He doesn't put his clothes on. I mean, you know, obviously he's 2.
Yeah. Mhm.
But like, only thing he's working on now is just getting potty trained. You know what I mean? But yeah, I'll be there on time.
I'll meet you there.
I'll be on time. What is it, 4?
3:54. No, a little more.
We can 10 minutes, 15,
Yeah, like
15?
10 minutes. So I'll meet you there.